Well, I've just returned from Muskogee, Oklahoma at the Bare Bones Film Festival, documentary and music festival, and they also had the Bass Reeves Bell Star Western Film Festival, and I'm very pleased to present to you for your Fairfield documentary the Bass Reeves Bell Star Historical Documentary Awards. So,
well, thank you very much.
yes.
I appreciate that, and thanks a lot,
Oh, yes.
Russ. This award is named after you.
Yes.
And that means a lot to me. You are a name that I've known for quite a while as synonymous with local history in and around this area, and all the
Yes.
way in particular in Burlington, Iowa.
Yes.
And you've done documentaries, you've done books. You're a real inspiration for us, working together to try to have people. So that I received an award, we've received a few, but this with your name on it means a lot to me.
Oh,
so
that's,
thank you.
That's very kind.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. Muskogee, Oklahoma, is it?
Yes, Muskogee.
Yeah. Muskogee.
Muskogee. It's in north east Oklahoma. The film directors are both documentarians.
Oh, wow.
And it's called Bare Bones because if you don't have any money, but you can produce something that's got some value, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah,
So,
that's really great. Well, we liked Ahead of Its Time because we liked making it because it had a bunch of different stories.
Oh, yes.
You know, and so some of them were really not well known at all in Fairfield's history, and some were, but we kind of uncovered some things that people didn't know.
Yeah, and seeing it in a documentary as opposed to just talking about it,
Right.
You're using reenactors and expert interviews, and then being out in the where things happen. That's just a marvelous way to connect people with their history of their area.
When you texted me and said you were there and you loved the movie, it meant so much to me.
Oh,
and then when you told me that we had won the award, it just when people of like minds, get together, and you and I, we were talking about this just earlier. We really love local history. We love what it does for the people in our communities because it connects them to their past.
Right.
In such a way that they go, oh, that's how this town got here. That's what happened before even my ancestors were here. And then it kind of, your movie about Black Hawk's Bones, one of my favorites.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
a wonderful video, really. You have a lot of, like you said, it's bare bones. It's not like it's real fancy produced, but boy, you have deep information. You went and tracked it down. Well, this is written about it, but then we found out, no, that's not the case. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh my goodness. If people don't haven't seen it, you can go on YouTube and look up Russ Fry, and the name of it is
Black Hawk's Final Resting Place.
Final Resting Place. This is great.
And a real important point is that there'll be books written about Gettysburg and documentaries made about Gettysburg, because those documents that they produce that history from are being digitized and survive. But not everything about Fairfield will be here in another 20 years.
Exactly.
Newspapers and books are deteriorating, but you are preserving Fairfield's history for not just the people who live here now, but people who will live here 100 years from now.
Well, let's hope so. Yeah. I will tell you, some of these stories that you saw on Ahead of Their Time, they were 1 hour stories that we condensed down to 6 minutes or 5 minutes. I mean, 1 hour of meat, and then you have to do the work. And that, I want to, our project, I know you do a lot of what you do by yourself and maybe with a handful of people. I use over 100 people.
Yeah.
All the talent that's in Fairfield that's willing to help out comes and joins us. Some of them I pay if I can, and some I don't. But we get by together, we work together. People like Tim Britton, who does the sound for us, records many of the artists, local musicians that we use. It's really quite Jason Strong is my director of photography. He's the head of our local TV channel, FX9 of Fairfield's public access channel, and he has developed his photography and cinematography is just so beautifully. Werner Elmker helps us out, and all these people, our drone specialist, which is Renee Holmberg. He's just done some beautiful work. The first film we did, he was hovering about a foot over the Skunk River.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, get closer. And he goes, I'm going to sink my drone. Are you going to pay for it? I said, okay, don't get that close. But he did a beautiful job of as if you were almost riding down the Skunk River, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just really put people there, and people go, what river is that? I said, the Skunk. They go, no way. And then the people hadn't even seen their own county from those kind of viewpoints. So, hey, we're lucky to be doing this. I don't know about you, but sometimes I think that I've just, I don't know how I'm doing this, but if people knew how much fun I was having.
Yeah.
And the people I get to meet, by learning about these things, you get to meet some interesting people. Like you, Russ.
Thank you.
And such a blast. Tell me a little bit more about the people of Burlington, how they've responded to your books. You also have, how many books now you've written?
19.
19 books, almost all of them, many of them are available on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, everything's available on Amazon, print on demand. At film festivals, most of them are looking for high quality production.
Right.
And that's fine. That's
Sure.
It's a craft, right? Instead, I'm a historian who uses video to help share my findings, and I'd rather than spend time raising money, I'd rather spend time in the library.
Right.
And so
maybe we need to start our own film festival.
Well, that would
about historical, local history films from around the world, and we'll do different categories, and one will be the bare bones category, you know, like videos that are well researched, like yours, but maybe don't have high level production values.
I was just in Eugene, Oregon, and I was showing Blackhawk's Final Resting Place.
Right.
I didn't spend more than $500 to make that film, and I was up against multi-million-dollar films.
I know how that is. We spend maybe $50,000 per film to do our films, including and everything that we try to put together. And then I go against them, and they go, "Oh, this person won." I said, "That's fantastic. I really don't care about only that the information gets out to people, but otherwise, and that my team gets a recognition sometimes." But it is funny when somebody wins the award and they've spent huge amounts of money, and it's we go against like horror films and things like that, which is a big things. And then I'm like, okay. And they don't even know what category to put us in. Yeah. It's like, this is a history movie, and it's not Ken Burns. What is it? But you know what? It's all right, because now it's our films, I'm probably yours too, they're getting shown now to kids in high schools and in junior high. And they've got great questions. Yes. They showed one of our films on Heroes of Fairfield, and they showed some of the veterans that had come back from different wars, including, and one of the kids got on the Zoom call with me and said, "Well, I didn't understand what my grandpa was in when they said he was in World War II. But then I heard these stories and I thought, wow." Yeah. And he goes, "I went back and talked to my grandpa a little more." And I thought, well, we all need to be talking to our grandpas. At the same time, some of us are old enough that we're the grandpas now. And I always tell people say to me, the thing I know the most, they say, "You should talk to my dad. He's not here anymore." I said, "Well, guess what? You're your dad. Yep. And if I don't talk to you, the next one's going to know even less." Yep. So we're trying to preserve history for our community and also make it relevant to them, Yeah. I think that's the fun
And then one of the things I say, you can't change the future unless you know the present and you won't know the present unless you know the past.
That's so true. It's so true. You know, it sounds almost trite, like, oh, you got to know the past. No. And people go, no, I don't. I can just go, especially young people, right? I'm indestructible. I can just go make something happen. They don't realize how much of the past they're using in order to do what they're doing. They're standing on the shoulders of many people who allowed the town to become what it is, so they had the resources to do what they're doing. And that's what I try to let them know. And also let them know that there's geographical ancestors as well as our physical, biological ancestors. And geographically, the Iowa, the Sac and Fox, and so on, those are our geographical ancestors. And there's a connection we have to those people. I've been blessed to have a great relationship with Lance Foster from the Iowa tribe, and Lance has just really enlightened me about he doesn't use trite or, kind of try to, guilt trip me into it. He just tries to really teach me about the people who lived here before us. And I said, well, and then afterwards, came slavery. He goes, oh, a lot of these tribes had some slavery, but it was different. But here's what happened. He tries to explain it to me. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah. So I'm learning all the time. It's so much fun. I think I'm learning way more than I did when I was in school, and I'm reading too much. I was never considered myself a reader, but I read all day long nowadays.
Much better than having a real job.
It is. It is. Hey, thank you so much for being with us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a wonderful film.
Thanks to the people at the festival, the Bass and Bell Wild West Film Fest.
Oscar Ray and Sharon Butterfly Ray.
We really appreciate that acknowledgement. Hope that we can be a part of acknowledging others that are in this field too. Thanks a bunch.
You bet.
All
Thank
right.
you kindly.
We'll see you.